Hello everyone, this is Vickieverlie, the Rock and Roll Prophetess on YouTube, and we're here today to take a look at the last chart read for 2023 as we're moving into the year of 2024. This is going to be the full moon in the sign of Cancer, and it's occurring on December 26th, my birthday, 2023, 7:33 p.m. Eastern, but times will vary. This is an intuitive or psychic astrology reading. So while based in astrology, it's very much a psychic and intuitive reading. I get downloads and messages as the reading progresses often. Okay, so here it is. It's this full moon in the sign of Cancer. Now, the sign of Cancer is ruled by the moon. So it's in its own sign. It's in its power. It brings out all the Cancer and fourth house qualities, which is the home and family, which is always true around this time of year. Nurturing, cooking, food, family. But it's also like our family of origin, you know, and where we came from. And a full moon can always bring illumination. I just heard astonishment. So some people may be in for some astonishment, but you know, it's more about realizations. I feel like it can be very loving and forgiving. You know, it's kind of like, you know, we get around some of these relatives, especially, you know, some of the really older generations. And many of them may have some kind of, you know, sort of outmoded ideas and beliefs from our perspective. You know, they're coming from a different time, and they're coming from a time when the earth was much more dense. I mean, I've seen that in my own lifetime. I was born in the 60s, and I've seen, you know, how much denser it is from the time that I was young until now. And when you're aware of these subtle energies and stuff, and you can kind of have this understanding of, oh, okay, they were rooted into these old paradigms. But ultimately the point I wanted to make was that, you know, you can have these realizations, these, okay, forgiveness, I see how they are, and love them anyway. You know, love them for who they are and what they've done for you in your life, the impact that they've made for you in your life, even if it's just showing the opposite, mirroring back the opposite. This moon is making some really nice aspects and overall really positive. It's trining the Saturn, you know, pretty close orb there in water sign energy. So Saturn again is calling in that earth sign vibration, is in the sign of Pisces. Now Saturn in Pisces, this has just started to occur. I mean, well, it's been going back and forth for maybe a year, sometime over the last year. But now it's direct, and it's like full force ahead into the sign of Pisces as we move into the end of the 2023 and the beginning of 2024. And Saturn will, if you could work with the energy, I mean, some people will say, oh, well, Saturn's going to squash the Pisces energy because the Pisces is a fellow water sign of Cancer, and Pisces is spiritual, you know, creative, spiritual, outside of this realm, you know, the subconscious mind, all these types of things, the artists, you know, all these sort of things. And it'll say, oh, Saturn is so strict and rigid, you know, it'll just squash that energy. And I don't feel that's the case. There's always a positive, so there's always a way to work with it. With the Saturn being in the sign of Pisces, what it can do, if you want to work with the energy, or the energy of Saturn and the Piscean energy working together, I'm hearing that, come on, let's get together now. What is that? That's some older song, maybe from the 70s. If you've never seen my videos, often my guides come through with music because I'm a lifelong musician, and it's a language that I understand, so they communicate in that form with me often. But what I was saying is, a lot of times the Neptunian or the Piscean energy is very much intangible. You know, you can be a dreamer all day long, but if you're never going to do anything to implement it in a 3D world, it'll stay just that, a dream. With the Saturn energy, it can be manifest into the physical. Saturn can give it structure. Saturn can give it legs. You can take these creative, spiritual, you know, otherworldly ideas, and Saturn will cement it and bring it down into the 3D reality. Create an avenue is what the guides were saying, creating an avenue for it to manifest in the 3D reality. The other thing that's happening is we got this Jupiter here at 4 degrees of Taurus, so there's a sextile to that, and the Sun is trining this, and the Moon is sextiling it. So we've got these, these planets working together. We've got Jupiter in that Earth sign too of Taurus, wanting to again manifest things into the physical world. Jupiter in Taurus brings in a financial factor, perhaps, for most people, for some, and that can be something that's a creative thing that you've been mulling around with or dreaming about. Or, it doesn't even have to be creative, because Neptune, Pisces, Neptune is dream, what you've been dreaming of. It's imagination. So something that's been just in your imagination. Just my imagination once again, running away with me. Yeah, just your imagination running away with you. You could watch out for that kind of thing, but really, it can take it and bring it into the physical reality and maybe monetize it, because in this day and age, everybody's like, well, how are we going to monetize it? So the Jupiter in Taurus, that can bring in that monetization, but also helps, monetization aside, brings in that grounding into the physical world. So there's a lot of nice energy from the Moon itself, trines, sextiles, beautiful energy, grounding in water and earth, dreams to reality, emotional, coming to terms with emotional things, having realizations about it. I mean, some people, there's older people involved, they may give you a beautiful gift, like an heirloom that's been in the family or something, or even a gift of property, you're thinking, for some, like, hey, I'm going to give you I've got this property, I'm going to give it to you, or pass it down, or something that's been passed down through generations. You could see, some of us could see that happening. There's a lot of other good stuff happening here. This Venus is speaking of Neptune, it's making a beautiful trine in the water sign too. The Venus is in Scorpio. It's opposing the Uranus in a wide orb. If you watch the solstice video, which I've already posted, which is from the 21st, the upcoming season for all signs, the Uranus Venus was there too, and it was pretty tight, and I was talking more about it. So if you want to go deeper on that, but overall, like, beautiful and nice surprises. Those, I'm saying, those pigs frying, not frying. Oh my gosh. Unfortunately, well, some people will be, yeah, frying some pork or something. But I meant flying, pigs flying, unicorns, those kinds of things. Giving a big boost to, again, this Neptune energy. That's all the things we were just discussing with this Pisces. And it's Neptune and Pisces are the same, essentially the same energy. Because Neptune is a ruling planet of Pisces. It expresses the same way, and it rules the same realms and such, so on. But there could be this, these beautiful, creativity could be just off the charts, at an all-time high. Again, because, creativity at its best, I've always said, I made some videos about that in my Broadcast Some Universe series that I did early on in YouTube, creativity is channeling, for the most part. The best stuff is. I mean, there's people who can do it, and it's contrived, it's put together by, in your brain using theory and this and that, and they could come up with some good stuff, but the best stuff, come on, the best stuff is that just comes straight from your soul, straight through you. And you don't, many artists, writers too, just say, I don't know where it came from. It was just, there it was on the page, or it came to me in a dream. Getting those downloads in the dream here with this energy. So beautiful creativity. With Uranus, surprising breakthroughs with the Uranian energy. Surprising breakthroughs perhaps with Venus. It could be in your love life or with people you love. Because the holidays, after all, is a time to come together. Come together right now, hold me, pow, shoop. My grandson was little, he always that song would come on and go shoop in his ear, he loved it, he would crack up laughing. But anyways, yeah, but if there's been falling out with family or somebody, this is a time to be reunited, and it feels so good. I'm getting a lot of music today. I'm trying not to go there too much because I know a lot of people don't like it, but it's just really coming through. Maybe because I'm diving into that Neptunian energy myself with, it's bleeding through, coming through. But yeah, I could see that. I could see too, Mercury is retrograde at this time, so there is this connection to the past. Mercury, by the way, at this time is squaring with the Neptune, also 25 degrees, but it's conjunct Mars, and the vertex is even there too, and it's to that the galactic center. And the galactic center is this magical portal. It's an entryway, a portal. I don't believe it's not the only one. I'm getting another song. I don't know if I should keep singing, but I'm getting another one. It's not the only one to walk across fire for you. Whatever. Okay. I want to do the reading in a normal way. We don't have to have a song every sentence. Guys, I appreciate your interjections, but people get annoyed by that one. But yeah, the galactic center, that's a powerful point. And the Neptune is that otherworldly, and the galactic center is a portal to that otherworldly. So it's just like off the charts with, getting these downloads, getting these big realizations and visitations is what the guides are saying. So there could be some visitations for sure for some people. And there always are at this time of year. Maybe if you celebrate Christmas, you get out that favorite ornament. Maybe it was your grandmother's ornament, or you put out that somebody's using a tablecloth or some kind of an altar cloth that was, and they're lighting candles. Maybe it's Hanukkah, it's some kind of a lace tablecloth or something I'm seeing. They set their candle on like an altar kind of a thing. That perhaps was a grandmother's or mother's or somebody, or just the memories of those who are not there too, because the Pisces energy and the 12th house also is those who have passed on, those that are in the realm of spirit at this time. And then, with the Venus energy, that love is being sent. That love is being sent and received, and it crosses the bridge of consciousness. Excuse me 1 second. Crossing the bridge of consciousness, forging connections that will last the year round or last a lifetime, the guys are saying. So there is this major magical elements happening for sure. With the being Mercury, in particular, that's our cognitive mind. That's the way we process. Because Neptune is great, and it's out there, and it's woohoo and woohoo and woo-woo and woohoo and all the rest of it. But sometimes it's hard to grab onto that and pull it into the physical reality. And sometimes it waits, or, it goes by. Sometimes it goes by, oh, look at my hand is blue, or something. I saw a blue light there. Ooh, look at that. Blue, getting some blue reflection from somewhere. But anyways, it's my aura, perhaps. That's a way, the Mercury is the way that we acknowledge it. Speaking of that I'm seeing that blue aura on my hand, I'm going to just talk about this story real quick. This was something that happened when I was a little child. And I was actually looking at my hand, and I was looking at my fingers, and I could see, for real, like big blue lights around my hands. And I was going like this, and I go, oh, look, my hands are touching, but they're not. But what was happening was my aura was touching. I was seeing my blue aura. And I don't know why I'm telling the story, but it's because of the blue lights, I guess. But maybe it means something, or will help somebody somewhere with something. But anyways, as a child, I was at my babysitter's house, and my mom was working. And I'm telling the babysitter, and she's like, no, there's no blue lights around your hand. You're not, no. And I tell my mom about it. I wouldn't let it go, because I was just like, man, I saw it. It was so cool. And I could see it for a while. Because I was trying to show the babysitter. I'm going, look, don't you see it? She's like, no, I don't see it. But, so then, I go, my mom kicks me up later. I'm telling my mom, and of course, my mom was always, you're just dreaming. Like, I know I'm not dreaming. I was however old, little kid, So finally, I could see my grandmother's talking about these spirits. I saw her whenever, probably once a week. I think we used to go to see my grandma. And I told my grandma about it, and she goes, oh, that's your aura. That's just your aura, and everybody has one. And I was like, oh, okay. That's all I needed to hear. Not that you're dreaming, or it doesn't exist, or anything else. So it could be a time of things like that too, Just accept it for what it is, number one. For number two, because Mercury can be children, to some extent too. I think of it as children. You know, if a child, all that children need is a simple answer. I didn't need to say, my grandmother didn't say, well, really you're a multidimensional being incarnate in a human body, you know. She didn't go there. She just said, oh, that's just your aura, and everybody has one. And that was all I needed to hear. Then I was satisfied. I was satisfied that somebody acknowledged, you know, what I was seeing, number one, and that there was, you know, everybody has one. Okay, like nothing to be afraid of. So there could be these kind of things coming through, maybe not even for children, but for your own self, and it's nothing to be afraid of. It's just your loved ones popping in. It's just your loved ones looking in. And of course, you are a multidimensional being incarnate in a human vessel. I mean, it might be your blue body from another incarnation. I have a whole bunch of videos on stuff like that about the blue beings and everything. If you're into that part of it and want to look into it more. If not, I'll stick more to the astrology on this one. But you know, just the guy just said, keep it simple, stupid, which I don't like to use the word stupid, but you know, keep it simple. Accept it at face value. Accept things for what they are. Accept the people in your family for who they are. Accept these mystical experiences. Don't try to explain it away. Like if I did, oh, it must be some blue light shining, which it probably is. That's just the, you know, the graphic designer in me. Because even the thing behind looks a little blue. This is a white cloth I have behind me, and over here it looks pretty blue. Now I'm getting another song. Am I blue? Not these tears in my eyes telling you. Well, you know, we could get a little blue with the watery energy, and Saturn in Pisces too is going to really, it's going to be happening for a few years yet, but this is like the onset of that. You know, the Saturn in Pisces can help us come to terms with these things that, because Saturn can be depressive, Pisces can be depressive, Neptune, but we can work it out. We can work it out. Okay, we can work it out. Maybe we can work it out. Maybe we can clear it out of the density of the physical body, too. Because the full moon wants to also purge and release. And we can clear out of this emotional and spiritual clutter. Or, you know, maybe that story came through just now because of, you know, maybe some of these childhood things that we were traumatized over, and we're still carrying them in the physical body. There's a bridge between the physical and the emotional, between the physical and the spiritual. You know, there's this cohesion, or this flow, or this fluidity, and the full moon can bring illumination, but it also is very powerful for purging and releasing and, you know, clearing. You know, this galactic center thing here, with all the stellium, well, the Mars is there too. So the Mars could really give, well, the Mars can bring up anger. You know, we get angry. A lot of times we get angry about things that from whatever, you know, we get these downloads and we feel angry. But in the sign of Sagittarius, and with the galactic center, you know, don't let angry words come up about things from the past with the retrograde too. You know, let's not go there over these holiday seasons, right? Well, I remember when we were kids, and you took my toy and broke it. Let's not go there. Let's turn that Mars energy into motivation, because with the sign of Sagittarius galactic center aside, you know, that's taking that higher road. That's going beyond to the next level. That's the expansion. That's the higher knowledge. So we could really be accessing that. I mean, it could be higher knowledge. You know, secrets could come out with this stuff too. With this Mercury, Neptune, secrets from the past, family secrets. People could let things slip. You know, you've all been there, right? You know, somebody's told you some story, you know, the story's this, and then they're just talking, and then oh yeah, blah blah blah, this happened. And I always will just sit there and with my Scorpio rising energy and just seethe, silently seethe when they're telling another version of something that you were lied to about, you know. And it's just like, oh, you let that slip, didn't you? I will never say anything. I will never be the one that says, hey, you said it was this, and start a whole thing. I'll just, you know, but I'll put it in my little my silently seething list. I'll put it on my silently seething list. Yeah, but you catch those things too. So some, things like that could come out too. Somebody could slip up, and you could get real triggered and angry. It's like, oh wow, you told me that. And, I've caught people in lies lots of times. It's like, oh okay, and I will never bring it up. I'll never bring it up, so they don't, they don't have a chance to double back. Or even, if it's in the context of they're telling a happy story or a funny story, let's let them have their moment. But oh yeah, I noticed that. I caught that. So this isn't, I'm laughing about myself with the silently seething, because of course that's not healthy. We don't want to silently seethe. We don't want to, this could be a time to, release a lot of that. Release a lot of that. Because what does it all really matter? Does it really matter? In the drop, it's a drop in the bucket of our incarnational expressions and experiences, and it's a game. It's just the game we play. It's the game of Earth, of the human incarnation in the 21st century. 21st century schizoid man. Anyways, what else we got here? We got this feminine energy too. There's a lot of this feminine energy with this Virgo. We got this opposing, it's just about an opposition with the Neptune, and it's making a trine to the Uranus. We've got the Lilith-Juno conjunction over here. And so there is, and with the moon being in a feminine of the moon in Cancer, the mother, there's this this feminine energy influx, but doing it in a different way, breaking outside the patriarchy. Well, I mean, the holidays are a time, if I think of it, we're in the kitchen, we're cooking, we're making cookies, we're making food, which is traditional. Of course it's not, but not in reality, but traditionally, the feminine, we want to feed you, we want to nurture you, we want to give you your gifts, it's nurturing. So there's this feminine thing, but with the Uranian energy, it feels like, why don't we try it a different way? Why don't we try another way? Why don't we try to take a different approach, take a kinder, nurturing approach, at least just for these couple days here? Can we for just these couple days, can we not have to be right? Can we set that aside and not have to be right? And just be kind and just be loving? Because there's fabulous energy that's conducive to that. There absolutely is. Let's see here. Wasn't there something? Oh yeah, this Mercury stuff too. All this Sagittarius stuff is also making us trine the North Node. Well, Chiron is really not quite in there, but it's trine the North Node and it's sextile the South Node too. So I mean, on a higher level, I mean, on a quantum level, this could be, you could get some information. Yeah, maybe for some it might piss you off, it might trigger you and irk you, but it's to help you to go to your true north, to go to the highest calling of your life, to realign you or course correct you towards your own individual journey here, because that's a big part of the North Node in Aries. It's our individual journey. Again, I talked a lot about this, I think, in the last chart read. We don't, without needing to seek out others' approval. If you have a download or a passion or a creative thing that's burning inside of you, you don't have to run it by anybody else to see if it's a good idea. If it's in you, if it's this fire energy blazing in your soul, then do it. Go ahead and do it. Do it till you're satisfied. Yeah. And even in, a collective at large, like I think I used this example the last time, you don't have to get the attention of anybody. Like a corporate person, you don't need a TV station to pick up your show. You can just create a show and put it on YouTube. You don't need anybody else to approve or disapprove of whatever it is that is your soul's calling. It is your burning desire. There's that burning desire with that fire energy. Yeah, Pluto's here at 29. When is Pluto going into? I have my 20. Yeah, by the way, I'm open a couple more weeks only for our 2024 year ahead reading, which I put over here. And I put this too because there's just so many copycatters out there. And if you want to get a reading from me, this is the only way to do it. I won't message you or anything else. Those are imposters. It's rampant, okay? So just so you know, this is it. But the 2024 astrology and tarot readings are available only for a few weeks. But yeah, this Pluto, in January, it's going to move back into Aquarius here. So it is this time of that 29 Capricorn. It is this time, and it's making a sextile to the Neptune. And anything else? Let's see here, Pluto. Well, not on here. They don't have it with anything else, but sometimes they miss the, I don't have the asteroids in there. Well, and it's doing the sextile to the Venus, too. So this is, Pluto's very transformative. You know, Pluto can be so transformative, so death and rebirth. Sometimes you have to just, you know, sometimes it just has to be like, well, you're going to have to face the fact that something's just not going to be what you'd hoped it was going to be. But with all this, you know, higher source energy going on here, and that's just the universe intervening on your behalf and saying, hey, hello, McFly, knock, 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 knock. You're going in the wrong direction. What the universe has in store is so much bigger, so much grander, so much far beyond what you can perceive in, you know, our earthbound physical reality. So there will be endings. Full moons are ending. It's the last full moon of the year. There's culminations, there's endings. But there's also ushering in new years, new beginning, solstice, you know, turning that corner into the new season, and then the new year. And even though the new year, I always say, you know, your solar return is your new year, you know, your birthday. Well, this is my new year because it's actually going to, my solar return falls on the 25th this year because I always run my solar return chart too. That's a good way, if you're in astrology, to kind of get an indication of what your upcoming year would look like, by the way, if you wanted to do that. And just about any astrology software, I think, has a solar return chart. And it always will fall in the day before, day of, day after your birthday. So mine's going to be on Christmas evening this year. I didn't look at it that close, but I know that it's not on the day of. But, you know, I always say, like, the solar return is your actual new year, and many astrologers will tell you the same, or the Aries Ingress could be considered the new year, or even some will take the winter solstice or December solstice. But because January 1st is so ingrained in the mass consciousness, in the zeitgeist, it is a turning point. Whether we don't have to necessarily back it up with astrology, you know, because it rarely does. It rarely backs up with astrology, you know. It really doesn't for the most part. But it's still a thing. It's still a thing, again, in 21st century Earth. Every time I say that, I hear 21st century schizoid man. So I don't know if we want that. Some would say that maybe we already have some of those running around in the world in positions of power, right? But anyways, yeah, so it is this turning point anyway. So this is that last full moon of the year till we turn the corner collectively, although not astrologically necessarily. Disclaimer for all you astrology buffs out there. But there is that energetic turning of the corner at the January 1st time mark, right? All right, everybody. Well, there's potential for a lot of beautiful energy here. There's potential for a lot of forgiveness, of loving kindness, a lot of creativity, downloads. Turn your triggers into the fuel for your passion. Know that the universe is always conspiring in your favor to help you, to guide you towards your true soul's calling. By the way, if you're interested in that true soul's calling thing, you know, I do have those soul readings, which is a psychic astrology based reading, where I look at some key things and I get a lot of downloads about past lives too. It's heavily about past lives. And one more time, if you are interested in the 2024 year ahead reading, it's going to be available only for a couple more weeks now until the end of December. And it is a look at the transits of the year, the major transits to your chart. And then we do a 4-quarter tarot card reading, my most popular reading of the year. Again, many have been ordering it. Thanks to everybody who has. Many order every year. If you haven't got yours yet, again, you've got a little bit of time. And one more thing, I haven't mentioned it at all, and I thought, well, maybe I should. If you enjoy Christmas music, well, here's a nice ad there for something. But if you enjoy Christmas music, I do have a Christmas song out. It's on, this is Spotify's app, but it's on Apple Music. It's on all your favorite, you know, however you get your music, it's available. Vickieverlie, it's called Christmas Time. So if you do enjoy Christmas music, you might want to give it a listen, or perhaps add it to your favorite, you know, your favorite holiday music playlist. All right, everybody. Well, thanks for tuning in. Have a great holiday season. Remember, you are love and beauty incarnate. We'll talk again soon in the new year. Till then, bye.